That's his attitude. And ultimately, it means that he will be defeated. Because in the battlefield of Kurukshetra and in the Bhagavad Gita, it is explained how we can become victorious in our life. What is the attitude which will bring victory? And what is the attitude which will ultimately bring defeat? It is also said in Bhagavatam, and Srimad Bhagavatam, that Parabhavas tavat abodha jatam, that all the people who are abodha jatam, who are born in ignorance, who remain ignorant throughout their life, parabhavas, they ultimately will be defeated. Until they get rid of this ignorance which is there. And you can only get rid of the ignorance through the medium of surrender, when you surrender to a guru and when you surrender ultimately to God. Without that, you will remain ignorant. And therefore, basically, when Sanjay explains this scene, how Duryodhana goes to his guru, he more or less predicts this guy will be defeated. But what is even more interesting is that Arjuna doesn't show a very good example either. As I said, exactly the same thing he does. First of all, he orders his guru, please put my chariot there. I want to see. Which is not nice, you know. Of course, Krishna is humble, he is his driver, and Krishna knows his mind. And Krishna says, yes, yes, I will show you. But again, the same attitude is there. He goes to his guru and he says, you do what I want you to do. Show me everything. But there is a big difference. Still there is a big difference. Then when he sees everything, again, he starts teaching his guru. He says, no, Krishna, this is horrible. I'm not going to fight. Don't even try to do it. And he gives so many reasons. And he gives the whole philosophical lecture. And I know it very well. When disciples come to me, they start giving me such a nice lecture sometimes. And you have to sit there and listen and listen and listen. But ultimately, why do they speak philosophy? Because they want to prove their point. I don't want to do this. And the whole philosophy is there. Oftentimes, people do exactly the same thing as Arjuna does. Because Arjuna says, it is Shushruma, Dhiranam. He says, I have heard it from the cyclic succession. And oftentimes people, they listen so many lectures, just when the time of the need comes, then they will prove philosophically, very soundly, that they don't want to do what they're supposed to do. That's what philosophy is there for. So many times I heard how people very expertly twisting philosophy just to basically justify what they would do without philosophy. But they would do anyway. People, they think, I need philosophy just to justify what I want to do. And therefore, they learn philosophy, they have Bhakti Shastri degree, this degree, that degree. And Arjuna is very expert. He gives such a sound arguments, very nice arguments. We will go to hell, the whole family structure will be destroyed, everything is bad. I am not going to fight. But there is one, and when he speaks this, Krishna keeps silent. He doesn't say anything, as much as Drona doesn't say anything. Why? Because he's not happy. If disciple comes to a guru and speaks and speaks and speaks, and guru says, yeah, right. There is no even time to say something because they already know everything. What shall I say? There is no point for me to say because he's already know, okay, fine, I will keep quiet. And Krishna keeps quiet. But there is one very important difference. Why ultimately, if it's basically the same, what Duryodhana does to his guru and what Arjuna does to his guru, why still Krishna ultimately will tell Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, but he will not even try to tell it to Duryodhana. Duryodhana, there is no point for Duryodhana, there is no chance in the world that Duryodhana will understand Bhagavad Gita. But Arjuna has chance. What is the difference between the two?
He surrenders.
Huh?
He surrenders.
Surrenders later, but the difference, yes, ultimately he will surrender, but before that, yeah, he is not offensive. He is not offensive. There is no offense. He makes the same mistake, exactly same mistake. He behaves exactly in the same way, but there is one very important difference. He is not offensive. He doesn't have this pride, I'm better than you. I know better. Yes, he says the same thing. So that's a very important lesson for every one of us. That even if we are personally motivated, even if we are bewildered, and we are bewildered, let's be very clear about it. We are confused. We are not very clear in our minds. There is a lot of garbage inside. Because a lot of garbage went in, so there is no, but still, one first thing which we should understand, we shouldn't be envious, we should not be offensive. So this little humility, this little spark of humility is enough for Arjuna to change. What is happening actually in Bhagavad Gita, when we see how the story, Andrei, reveals itself, Krishna he doesn't say much. He says, "Oh, Arjuna, you're just a fool." Basically, that's what Krishna says. Arjuna, you're a fool. And what Arjuna, that we will see in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, in the beginning of the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And again, to understand this, what's going on in the mind of Arjuna, what's going on in the mind of Krishna, we need to hear from somebody who knows this. Ourselves, we will never understand this, and because we will never understand this, we will never understand the deeper meaning, what is going on. So, what is going on when Krishna he speaks two verses in the beginning of the second chapter, and he says, Anarya Jushtam Asvargyam Kirtikaram Arjuna. He says, "Oh Arjuna, it's not behooves you. It's not befitting of you. You're not behaving like a noble man. Anarya Jushtam, Asvargyam, you will never go to the higher plane of existence. Anarya Jushtam, Asvargyam, Akirtikaram, you will never get any fame. And Kutastvam, what is this? Kutastvam Kashmalamidam. Where is this dirt? How is this dirt can come to you? How you can be so degraded?" So when Arjuna hears this, he again tries to justify, but he runs out of steam.